Okay. Name an instrument.
Carl Cochran, instrument, guitar, and vocals.
And where are you from, Carl?
I'm from New York originally, and I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey.
And how did you first start playing?
I was probably about 8, and I hung out with this family that the older brothers played guitar, and I started listening to them play Chuck Berry riffs, and they started teaching me that.
And why do you play?
I play because I love to play, for no other reason but just the creativeness of music and playing with others. It's just a part of me.
And how many years have you played, Carl?
Over 40.
And who have you backed up, and how do you feel with that position?
Well, to feel in that position, I actually enjoy it. It's something I'm used to doing. I backed up Ace Frehley from Kiss. I backed up Dee Snider. I backed up Kristen Chenoweth, Joe Lynn Turner, a band called Nuclear Assault, Flavor Flav, and a bunch more.
And are you really comfortable with that role? Obviously, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Second nature.
What are some of the best moments, memorable performances on stage for you?
On stage for me, playing in front of 80,000 people in Europe was a great accomplishment, and it was a lot of fun. It was baptized by fire, got thrown into it, had to learn all these songs, crazy songs, and I didn't realize how crazy the European people are for music. And it was great.
What's the transition like from stage to street?
Excuse me?
In other words, like what's the transition like for you coming off the stage and just getting back to normal?
Well, obviously, getting on stage and playing is there's I guess endorphins. It's the same kind of thing. If I guess you're working out and you're a professional athlete, you win the big game. I guess that kind of a thing. You just go back into ordinary person, regular mode when you come off the stage. But the stage is it's that high. It's the reason why we play.
Now, if you weren't a musician, what would you do? What would you be doing?
That's a good question. I said to myself, I think I would be a manager or a lawyer. But to be honest with you, I don't think there's anything else that I would do. I'd just be a musician. That's it. I'm going to die with the guitar.
What do you like listening to?
Wow. Wide variety of music. Everything from funk, R&B, hard rock, country, Latin, jazz, fusion. There's just classical. I'm very open when it comes to music.
Are there any funny road stories you can legally tell?
Yeah, I could tell one story about Ace Frehley. We were in Maine. It was, I believe it was the summertime, yeah. And Ace had just gotten a BB gun that he brought on the road or whatever to the hotel room, and he came into all our rooms and he was blowing out our lights in our rooms. He thought it was funny. And he got to my room, and there were a few soda cans on the table. And in the background were curtains. I didn't realize behind the curtains there were 2 sliding glass doors. And he proceeded to blow the cans all over the place, thought it was funny. And the next morning, I woke up, and I went down to the lobby of the hotel, and looking up at my room, and I noticed there was a lot of ice all over my sliding doors, on the glass. And I'm going, well, it's 70 or 80 degrees out. How can there be ice on my room? And I realized that Ace had just blown out 2 sliding doors of mine in my room, and we got into the van to take off from the hotel to go to the venue to sound check, and the manager was driving, and he says to me, "I just got a bill from the hotel for $4,000 or $5,000, and then I was to pay it because the sliding doors were broken." And I'm looking over, and I'm like, "I didn't do it," you know. And of course, Ace was silent. And then finally, I saw his head moving around, and he was laughing, and he finally confessed. So he ended up paying for it. So that's one little story. The rest I can't tell you.
What was like the greatest performance you ever were witness to that you loved, that you saw?
Wow. And there are a lot of different performances. Wow.
Just give me one that
I
you
guess
were.
for guitar, was Stevie Ray Vaughan in 1983. You want to hit that back, or you good?
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, yeah, it was Stevie Ray Vaughan, 1983, and nobody had heard of him. Or maybe it was 84, and I was watching him at the Beacon Theater, and I looked to the side of me, and where I was standing in the aisle, and there's Mick Jagger standing right next to me watching Stevie Ray Vaughan tear it apart. That was probably it. That was pretty amazing.
And let me ask you this: what does expressing yourself through music mean to you and to your life?
Expressing myself with music it's an extension of me. So it's like writing songs. I can't explain that to somebody that doesn't do that, but for those that do know, it's very gratifying. It's a high. I guess it would be the equivalent to having a child, I guess, in some ways. You know, you're creating, you're writing a song, or you're writing a movie track for TV. This is very exciting.
Okay, and how does your family feel about you playing music?
My family's very supportive. My father was very, very strict, and he came from the big band music, Glenn Miller. So I played rock and roll, but I studied a lot of jazz. So he swung over to the other side and has been very supportive ever since.
Thank you, Carl.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Let me see that axe one time. Let me see that guitar one time. There you go, boy.
There you go.
Here you go.
I put this together too.
Awesome.